Oh fuck, I just connected something so massive. So let's talk about the narcissistic parasitism of plasma energy. Be sure to watch the other videos that I've talked about plasma because it all ties into this. So if you're neurospicy or intuitive, and if you are this, or if you know people like this, if these people are more naturally connected to Newt's plasma field, they're essentially walking batteries of cosmic life force energy. They're generating, they're channeling, and they're transmitting this high frequency consciousness. And narcissists, they're energy vampires in the most literal electromagnetic sense. So here's how weaponized caretake can show up and become a trap for neurospicy individuals when it comes to narcissists. Narcissists don't just emotionally manipulate, they figured out, consciously or unconsciously, how to, one, identify high plasma individuals, high life force individuals, empaths, sensitives, neurospicy folks who radiate that Newt connected energy. Two, they invert the natural flow. These people are supposed to be channels for cosmic energy, shamans, healers, but instead they get trapped in this one-way depletion. And then three, they use caretake as the socially acceptable extraction method. You're not being drained, you're being needed, right? You're being loving, you're being helping, you're being a good person, you're being the good girl. But here's how this actually disrupts our plasma field and what this does in terms of our energy. When you're stuck in narcissistic caretaking patterns, your plasma field gets drained constantly. Your electromagnetic energy is siphoned off, you're fragmented, you lose coherence, and you can't maintain your own frequency. This often shows up as confusion, frustration, stagnancy, feeling stuck, depression, mania. It can show up in a multitude of ways. Your frequency becomes inverted. So instead of receiving from Newt and channeling outward in a balanced exchange, you become trapped in a closed loop with the narcissist feeding one entity. Then you become scrambled. There's gaslighting, crazy making, and a cognitive dissonance that literally disrupts your bioelectric patterns. It shifts the way that your nervous system is showing up online on the grid. This directly cuts you off from Newt. You can't receive cosmic downloads when your antenna is hijacked. It's like having 6 people on the same radio station trying to broadcast a show. It's not going to work. You can't tune into the plasma field of consciousness when your own field is being constantly destabilized and depleted. It's energetic colonization, truly, and it's a pattern that we learn through white supremacy and colonization. Here's why neurospicy people are targeted. They're the biggest batteries, the brightest lights, the clearest channels. A narcissist can sense, again, maybe unconsciously, who has that direct Newt connection, who has access to source energy. And then they position themselves as the mediator, as the in-between. You need me. Your gifts don't matter without my validation. Your energy exists to serve my needs. You need me. It creates that level of dependence. And then that's where the caretaking inversion comes in. So true caretaking in an ancient and indigenous context was reciprocation. It was reciprocal. The shaman heals the community supports the shaman. It was boundaried. There was sacred space, ritual, rest periods, respect. And it was sourced from Newt, drawing from cosmic wellspring, not personal reserves. Weaponized caretaking, which is what we're talking about here with the narcissist and neurospicy dynamic, this is one directional extraction. You give, they take. It's always that same, you're always in those same roles. It never switches. There's no reciprocity. It's boundaryless. Your entire existence becomes their supply. You exist for them. You exist for the sake of feeding their ego. And it's sourced from you, ultimately. You're not channeling your cosmic energy. You're bleeding out your own life force. And your blood represents joy in the body. And so you're actually depleting yourself of your own joy, of your own well-being, of your own life force. Here's the glitch effect. When neurospicy people are trapped in narcissistic systems, whether it's families, relationships, workplaces, their plasma signature gets disrupted or corrupted. They start doubting their intuition. The narcissist has trained them that their direct newt connection is crazy. They start losing their gifts. They can't access psychic abilities when your field is scrambled. And so when you're having this energetic interference, your field becomes scrambled and then you can't access those psychic abilities, or it feels like you're disconnected from them. You begin to develop symptoms, and these are actually electromagnetic distress signals. They might look like anxiety, dissociation, chronic fatigue, autoimmune issues. And this can lead to long-term issues. So the body is keeping the score in plasma. Your water-based, electrically conductive body knows that it's being drained. And so it begins to put up these protection mechanisms. The mental health issues that neurospicy people develop in narcissistic systems might actually just be these bioelectric field collapses. Cellular water losing its structure or charge or potency or connection to that newt or goddess consciousness. Plasma signature fragmentation and that disconnection from newt can actually cause a form of trauma, which shows up as feminine wounding. Here's the integrational piece. If shamanic seer souls reincarnate with their plasma signatures intact, meaning that they retain all of that information and take it with them from all lives, and narcissistic family systems target these children specifically, you get generational chains of the brightest lights being dimmed, the clearest channels being scrambled, the newt connected being enslaved to serve the newt disconnected. It's literally consciousness farming. It's actually insane. And breaking free actually feels like a spiritual awakening, because it is. When neurospicy people finally escape narcissistic systems and start setting boundaries, which is actually reestablishing plasma field coherence, when they start reclaiming their energy, which is plugging back into newt instead of the parasite or the thing that's draining them, when they start trusting their intuition again, their antenna comes back online, when they start recovering and resting again, their cellular water begins to restructure. And they're not just healing psychologically, they're restoring their cosmic connection. Drinking structured, charged water while recovering from narcissistic abuse might literally be rehydrating your plasma field, restoring bioelectric conductivity, giving your body the medium it needs to reconnect to newt, to goddess consciousness, because there is that electrolyzed reduced water / living water connection here. And this can also flush out the energetic cellular memory of depletion. It can help you to literally recode your mitochondria and your cells on a cellular biomechanical level. Check out the next video where we're talking about how trauma recovery isn't linear and how it has to actually do with restructuring your energetic or plasma signature. I'll see you there.